Hey everybody, welcome back. We're gonna have an awesome Footwork class today. If you'd like to follow along for some of the movements that we're gonna be planning in games later towards the end of the stream, we just wanna make sure you're prepared for it. So I have a setup next to me that you're gonna see, but we're also gonna send you an overhead shot so that you can look at it and know that it doesn't really matter the order, but what we wanna make sure is that you are able to create some sort of shape guide. So we used masking tape, that was simple for us. If you have items that could represent shapes that are not slippery that you can jump to, that's awesome too. Otherwise, we're also using our bar trainers, so things that you can find around the house, like broomstick handles to stand on as well, that would be great. So anything you can find and round up throughout the stream to follow along and create those shapes. What we have right now are 2 lines, 2 bricks, which are little rectangles, 2 X's, and 2 triangles. So set that up if you'd like. Otherwise, we can get creative on how you can follow along without. But what we're gonna do for warm up first is do some walking drills and some crawling drills. Most of today is gonna be on our feet, so let's get our ankles warmed up. So just find a space that you can kind of just zombie walk forward. We're gonna lift up the insides of our feet. So you're gonna lift your toes up. This is called supination. So as we walk, we're gonna just try our best to maintain a normal gait. We're gonna walk down in that supinated stance. And when you get to the end, you're gonna turn around and we're gonna crawl. So first set of crawling is gonna be quadrupedal motion, moving on all fours and opposites, all the way down your lane. Nice flat palms, straight back. After that, we're going to pronate. So we're gonna walk on the inside blades of our feet. So what we want is to lift our pinkies up. And again, trying to maintain that natural walking stance, not caving through as best you can. When we come backwards, we're actually gonna QM backwards this time. So in our fours, moving in opposites, keeping your hips low. Quadrupedal motion. Cool. After that, now we need to walk on our tippy toes. So like you're wearing awesome high heels. Cool. But try and be as flexed as possible. This is plantar flexion. We're walking so tall. And then we're gonna go back in our quadrupedal motion, but instead we're gonna do monkey jumps, bilateral, hands and then feet.
I'm a human too.
He's a human. I think we can fit. Hands, feet, hands, feet. And then walking back, we're gonna dorsiflex. So you're gonna walk on your heels as best as possible. However, don't heel strike, so be nice and gentle. And try not to fall forward into each step. I have to take really small steps in order to accommodate this, to try and make my gait normal. But you're not letting the front of your foot touch. Woohoo. Oh, and then backward monkey jumps. Hands, feet, push. Hands, feet, push. Awesome. Let's do that whole thing another time. So we're gonna supinate, walking on the outer blades of our feet, pinky and heel. I almost tripped over my own feet.
That happens sometimes.
And then we go back with QM forward, moving in opposites, hand, feet, opposite pattern. Woohoo. And then we're gonna go back down the lane with our pronation. So walking on the inside blade, heel to big toe, rolling through, lift, lift, lift. If you happen to hear our birds that are apparently nesting near us.
I don't think they can hear them.
Oh, okay.
They might be a little too soft. There are birds up there though.
Quadrupedal motion backwards. Keep your hips low. Moving in opposites. Woohoo. Tippy toes, plantar flexion. How's it going, everybody? You see us, Sharon.
Hope you're enjoying your Tuesday.
We went backwards, forward, monkey jump.
Apparently it was 57 degrees today. Hopefully some of you got outside.
Yeah. Dorsiflexion, heel walking. Be gentle. It's like you're making little itty bitty motions. Do, 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 do,
Rooster
do.
Bad Guy says he's the only bird here.
He's the only bird. There's a Sharon. Oh, because he's rooster. I get you. Okay. What am I doing? Joel
He also
distracted me.
asks, are the shapes super necessary? I don't have tape.
He says shapes. Okay. We are going to finish warm up and I'll answer that question. Backward monkey jump. Woohoo! If you don't have tape, find small things that are either easy to identify like color. So like if you have 2 green things, 2 red things that you won't jump to. So making sure that if, let's say, whatever you want to represent your brick could go right next to your brick, and then you would know that you would jump directly next to that object. That is a way that you could solve that problem.
Really what we're just trying to create targets. And that's really
Yes.
all we're trying to make here.
Targets that are in sets of 2, and that there's 4 unique ones, technically 5, if you want to follow along exactly. Again, it can be modified super simply where all you do is have lines on the ground. Like you could have lines in your wood floor, be one option. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. You'll be good, Rooster.
He'll be all right. He'll get it.
Okay, so we warmed up. I want to do a couple of ankle rotations as well while Charlie talks. So we're gonna just do some ankle circles.
Sure. So for today, our focus is on strides and redirects. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff that incorporate foot-eye coordination.
Switch directions.
That's our goal for today is foot-eye coordination. We've probably been spending a lot of time doing hand-eye coordination, which is important. That's a good thing to have. But just as important is making sure that our feet go exactly where we want them to go. And that's kind of the trick and the point of today's class. So we're going to be focusing on strides. We're doing some simple coordination drills that won't be super dynamic if you don't want them to be. They can be dynamic if you do want them to
be. Switch directions.
And we'll kind of explore and see where we go from there.
Cool. I'm excited about this, y'all. So again, Rooster, just find like items or artifacts because it's just about creating a target that you have to go to. And that's all it's about.
Yeah.
I'm going to check chat.
Okay, so I have access to a bar, so I'm going to be using a bar. If you do not have access to a bar, as Nicole mentioned earlier, broomsticks work really well, actually, because of that T shape at the end. They don't roll, they don't move. You should be concerned if your broomstick is rolling. That's not super fun, but you can do this on the edge of a stair. You could do it on a book that just elevates you off the ground just a little bit, or anything that is thinner than your foot, something that challenges your balance just a little bit so that we can engage and continue to warm up through our ankle. I'm gonna be using this bar right here. I'm gonna start off in a lateral balance, and all I wanna focus on is, once again, as we talked about in that balance class, really focusing on changing my center of gravity with my ankle and not with the rest of my body. I want to be able to think about what's happening underneath me. I want to be able to make all those changes with that ankle, really helping us warm up all of that musculature that has to coordinate back and forth against each other to stabilize the ankle and make sure that when we put our ankle in precarious positions, because we might be putting our ankle in precarious positions today, that it is nice and stable and strong. If you have not switched legs, let's go ahead and switch legs. You might have one side that just happens to work better than the other, and that's perfectly natural, and that's okay, but it's something to take note of if one side just happens to work better. And again, I'm trying to think about only focusing on that standing leg, on that standing foot. I'm trying to keep myself nice and stable with it. If you need some assistance doing this on the ground, you can just find some space. You're standing upright, and then you want to change your position in some way to challenge that balance, either by tilting your head upright and having to focus a little bit more on what's going on. You can also just close your eyes, and eventually things get a little bit more challenging. As you're here, you go, whoa, hold on a second, as you take those reference points away. Again, we're just focusing on the bar. Let's go ahead and switch legs one more time.
What?
I've got my foot down here. I'm just kind of bracing on the ground. And if I start to make any wild motions, I just kind of tap the floor and kind of reset.
You don't want wild motions?
I mean, it's up to you.
Okay.
But again, we're kind of really trying to just isolate
Ankle.
that lower limb movement.
Bottom up.
We want that stabilization to come from down there. That's what our focus is right now.
Okay. Whoa.
And then we'll go ahead and switch. And for me, my balance leg is definitely my left leg.
Not
Right
opposite.
leg is significantly less good.
Oh, weird. Ooh. No, that makes sense. You kick a soccer ball with your left, don't you?
No, I
No?
kick it with my right.
Oh.
But maybe I step and stabilize with that leg constantly to do powerful motions with my right leg. So I
I guess
don't know.
that could make sense.
Hopefully I'm not weird.
I think everybody's weird.
Everyone.
Humans are weird.
Very good. Let's go ahead and shake that out. I'm going to take this bar. I can either switch it up or I can just change my orientation. I'm going to be balancing forward. If you want, if you're doing this on the floor, just think about lifting that heel up a little bit, and that will already start to get you in that front and back balance plane. You could also do this on a stair or some sort of ledge. Again, if you have a book, a hardcover book, just something that raises your heel off the floor just a smidge is really all we need for this to work. But we're just trying to place that forefoot in contact with that bar, and we're just gonna try to balance on one leg.
On one leg?
On one leg.
Okay.
I have a slight bend in my knee. And again, use your resets as much as you need to get yourself set. You get yourself up there, and we just try to stabilize as best we can. If we start to lose it, we step off, we reset, and we do it again.
I feel like my feet are still sore from balancing a marathon. Well, a mile. Contributing to a marathon.
And I'm gonna switch.
Like my bones still hurt. Oop.
Whoa.
How interesting. My left side likes this way better, and yet my right side likes lateral better.
Interesting.
What is going on with my body? Oh my goodness.
And we can go ahead and shake that out. And so now we're gonna create just a little miniature coordination drill. We're gonna start really slow and eventually go a lot quicker. What we're gonna think about doing is just stepping to the bar, again in that frontal plane. We're stepping ourselves out. We want that foot, that forefoot, to make that contact exactly where we want it to be made. Again, you can do this on a staircase or a book if you so choose, but we're stepping out. We're placing our center of gravity up as we step to it, and then we step back with that left, we come back. That was left, right, left, right. Now we're gonna switch it up as we go right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. And we're just gonna kind of go back and forth in this fashion. I'm gonna turn this way so it's not super awkward.
Yeah. Yay.
Because humans like to look at other
Turning our
humans and their
backs on the
faces.
world. No.
So again, I'm setting myself up and I'm just taking nice slow steps. I'm trying to keep myself in control as I do this. We step to the bar, we match, and we step away.
So are you looking to transfer your weight directly on top more than stay behind it the whole time?
At this point in time, because we're moving slowly, yes. We
Okay.
shouldn't be having the experience of falling backward yet. We're not trying to do these fast motions, keeping our center of gravity back in order to make these motions faster. That's not the point yet. For right now, we are transferring our weight with that foot, with that step, and then trying to control it. And again, sometimes as we do this, your brain just kind of turns off And you might notice you accidentally step to the object with your arch, and that's no good. That's what we want to avoid. That's why we're doing this drill.
I agree with Rooster. He said, oof, those one-legged forward balance drills.
They're challenging.
That was challenging.
I'm gonna start speeding things up a little bit.
Somehow coming off the bar, depending on which foot I'm leading with, makes sense. Or it doesn't make sense, because it's like a match and then repeat. There we go. This is weird.
And so what I've been doing so far is about one walking stride length. It's really not that much space. It's maybe about 1.5 feet. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and stop. I'm going to think about where I am right now, and I'm going to take 1 foot length back just a little bit. And with that step out, I now have to reach and transfer my weight before making true contact with that object. And things start to get a little bit trickier. They start to get a little bit more challenging as we move ourselves up. And maybe if we've gotten to a point where you're like, oh, this is already a little bit too far, you can scooch it up a little bit as you so choose. But same idea, we're transferring and getting ourselves back. We're not going super fast yet. We're just thinking about reaching that leg out. And make sure that you're trying to return back to that point that you started in by reaching that back leg just a little bit farther back than you were before. And I'm feeling just that extra bit of air time as I reach that leg out for that bar. And again, the entire time, you're trying to make sure that you are really focused on contacting with that object, with that forefoot. Not looking to arch slam anything. I'm gonna start speeding up a little bit. Ooh, I missed. I'm gonna do one more, both directions. Very good.
Cool.
Not so bad?
No.
All right. So if you have the ability to step past your object, this no longer, what we're going to transition to will no longer really work on a stair because obviously the staircase keeps going. But you want to be able to have some object that you can step past. And again, this can perfectly work on the floor with no raised surface. Obviously, you will have a lot more feedback on how you are actually doing if you're stepping out to a raised surface like a bar trainer. It's not necessary as long as you're really focused on what's happening and trying to be present in that moment. What we're aiming for is some artifact on the floor or some artifact that is out in front of us, and we are trying to make sure that we make contact with that forefoot, aiming, transitioning, and we want to step past that object. Instead of landing on top and going backward, we are stepping past that object. So for me, I'm thinking about reaching that left leg out, and I actually want to transition in front. Then I'm going to turn around, because we're not going to complicate this yet, and I'm going to reach out with my right leg. And I just travel back. I do the left leg over, I turn around, right leg back. And again, it doesn't need to be anything super crazy with our distances yet. All we're thinking about doing is just transitioning over, turning ourselves around and coming back, reaching with that foot, carrying our momentum with it. We're thinking about lightly absorbing into that step. We don't want to reach that leg out and keep it super sturdy and rigid as we make that impact with that object. We want to have that nice fluid transition over. And again, the entire time you're thinking about how you are interacting with that object, reaching that forefoot out. We're grabbing on to that object with those toes as we transfer ourselves over. I'm gonna do one more.
Paul's in the house and agrees that the 1 foot single forward balance is tricky.
Oh yeah.
I agree with you, Paul. The foot back, instead of having to hold a flexed hip, was easier.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do what we just did slowly, just to help you identify what we're transitioning to moving on. I was stepping out with my left leg on the leftmost side of the object, stepping my right leg over, keeping myself there. I took another step and I turned myself around. I switched my legs and then I went back. This time we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna think about stepping with my left leg out to the object, but then as I transfer my weight over to the opposite side, I want for my right leg to step in front of my left this way so that I can rotate and turn myself around.
Okay.
Yeah. Do
Cool.
some changing of directions as we get ourselves here. I reach myself onto that left leg, right leg travels to the bar, left leg crosses, and I step. And that way we're creating this nice little flow where we can get ourselves over and back. Whee.
Oh, but then you're spinning the same way each time. Right?
Are you?
Am I? Over, back, and then you're switching?
No, because if I'm going left, right, I'm turning to my left. I'm going this way, I'm
match
turning
your
to my
feet.
right.
You match your
Yeah.
feet. 1, 2, match. 1, 2, match. Got it.
And as we start to get better with this, I'm reaching just a little bit farther. I'm really thinking about that rhythm that my feet are making. And not only that, the object that we're reaching ourselves out to starts to change because we are rotating with this, and your eyes need to really think about what's happening. You need to analyze how far away you are from that object as you reach that leg out, trying to keep that rhythm. And again, the entire time we're trying to move nice and soft.
I keep messing it up. 1, 2, 3.
I'm gonna do one more.
Nope, I did the same side.
Whee. Not bad. All right. That's all fun and good. What if instead of transferring past that object, what if we were to do that same thing on our object? And in this case, what we're thinking about doing is turning ourselves around. I'm gonna be stepping from my left leg to my right leg, interacting with the object, turning myself around and stepping back.
On the object.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then from here, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna be thinking about stepping from my right leg to my left leg. And again, my left leg is crossing onto the right side of that object. I turn myself around and I step myself back.
Okay. Let us know if you have questions.
And again, you don't need to be stepping super far here. We're just thinking about interacting in a way that we can competently control. That's all we're thinking about doing here. We can move slow, making those nice smooth transitions. And as we get better, we have more success with our footwork, we can start to go a little bit faster, and we can start to really reach a little bit farther as well.
If anybody out there in the world gets dizzy, put your finger out, stare at your thumb, and jump. And you can do that like a couple times. I get dizzy easily. It's amazing the difference between being able to transfer connect instead of knowing that I'm jumping. As soon as it's a jump,
Yeah.
it's like my brain goes, nope.
Oh, definitely.
But the pouring the weight's fine.
Let's do one more each direction.
Much more confident on the ankle that I've rolled the least in my life.
Yeah, that'll happen. All right, so again, we have a bar, but this next drill can be done on any artifact. You're just aiming that foot for one specific spot on your floor.
Paul, for that one, same foot each time going forward or switch each time? It was a switch each time. So every foot with the bar switches.
Correct.
Instead of doing multiples in a row on your left foot touching the bar and then switching.
Correct.
Cool.
Then Nicole would have gotten super dizzy on that.
True, but I would have gotten less confused. Trade-offs.
All right, so in this case, what we've been doing, we're weird redirects and transitions, just trying to challenge ourselves, keeping ourselves coordinated, reaching that foot out, being precise with it, but we are inevitably moving off. This time, our challenge is looking to stabilize while redirecting.
Oh boy.
So for this, we've got a nice long surface, but this could just as easily be done if I've got this long strip on the floor. Maybe you've got a specific spot on hardwood floor. You want to be pinpointing towards one particular line on it. That can totally work. You can still get use out of this drill using just the flat floor. But again, I've got a bar out in front of me. What I'm going to think about doing, I'm going to start nice and close here. I'm facing it, I am perpendicular to this object, but what I really want to focus on is how can I redirect from this frontal plane this way, reaching my leg out, and instead of interacting with that same plane, I want to redirect into my lateral plane. Getting that leg out, I want it to be all in one straight line, just as we normally do when we balance. And sometimes when we start doing this, your brain goes, it would be so much easier if I just kind of angle my foot this way. Yeah. And I reach out with a 45-degree angle and I land mostly on that arch. And yes, there's a time and a place where that might be necessary just to have it be done and good and to know that you have success. But here, this is training. This is us trying to do something that is challenging so that we can become better attuned to this. This is what we're focused on. When we stand in that lateral balance, we have that entire foot in line with that bar. We don't stand and try to balance with that foot askew this way. We don't want to put weight through that arch. So I'm going to start really close here. What I'm trying to do is transition that foot. I aim it right where I want, and I want to get myself in that lateral balance position as quickly as I can, stabilizing it. I want to be here, and then I get myself off. You can stay on the same side if you so choose. If you want to change each time, by all means, go for it. But we're thinking about reaching that leg out. I transition, and I try to maintain that balance without going past the object or having to prematurely drop back to the place that I came from.
And
I want to be able to stabilize.
We're not jumping yet, correct? We're just transitioning weight.
You do not need to jump yet, no.
And then, yeah, I still screwed
We are
up.
literally just reaching. So like, for instance, I just missed.
Me too.
Yeah, because that's going to happen, and that's okay. We transition, we push off that opposite leg just enough to get our center of gravity over that leg. Oh, I missed again. We're just trying to get that foot exactly where we want it to be as we're reaching out. I had this thought today. I was trying to step precisely. I was trying to step precisely across like the corner of the couch, and there was a blanket that was down on our couch. And I tried to step over, and my toes totally caught on the blanket. And then I had to I was falling with that leg, right? And so it was that one moment. You were sitting right there. But I had that moment of wow, this is one of those really simple things that occurs in our life that this amount of training can really help prepare us for.
To not have injury for incidences like that are so minor in the moment and could be major in the outcome.
I'm gonna switch sides.
I feel like it's like a mini heart attack when I land more on my pinky and the actual blade of my foot.
Yeah.
It's not quite enough.
What?
And then I also find that my body totally cheats and puts the line angled on my foot, even though it's fairly in line.
Yeah.
It's not straight up crooked. Because if your big toe is on it, you're crooked. Like if it's directly on top.
And again, my focus here is on that lower limb balance. I really want to think about stabilizing and controlling with that ankle down here and not using my arms just to maintain and stabilize afterward, because this would be a lot easier for me to just stay here and we go, oh, hey, look, I saved it, right? That's not the point. We're really trying to think about and isolating that lower limb, interacting, stabilizing.
Rooster says, it's interesting what your brain does when you do this with a phone in your hand. Does it forget that you have a phone in your hand and you nearly drop your phone? Or is it like imbalanced strange? Because I feel when I'm balancing, if my hair is down, it's freaky. It's like wearing a scarf.
Yeah.
It totally messes me up.
So I'm going to
like
switch back to my original leg, but this time I'm going to think about going just a little bit farther. I feel pretty good. I was having a decent amount of success there. What I'm really thinking about doing is getting that one moment where I'm not yet connected with that bar, but I've had to push off with this initial leg in order to make that connection. I want to think about stepping, and it doesn't need to be like, oh, so much hang time in the air and then, you know, competently getting that foot to connect. And if you mess up, then your ankle dies. And that's not what we're going for here.
Yeah, we don't want that.
We just want to have that moment of you needing to really be focused in that moment as that leg reaches out and we make that connection.
Oh, crooked.
Wow.
Did you fall?
Got to carry that momentum.
Unintentional. Whoa.
I'm going to switch sides.
I've been doing like 2 or 3 and then switching. Whoa. Freaky, freaky. My body likes it to be slightly crooked. Oof. Nope.
I'm going to do a couple more on this leg.
Whoa. Almost a good one.
Ooh, it feels good.
Yeah?
I think I've got to end on that one.
It's awesome. Maybe
Very nice. That's fine. It's all good. So, with all of that done, and us kind of playing around with different dynamic abilities, reaching that leg out, interacting, stabilizing, getting that control. Let's make a fun little game out of this. The thing that I'm looking to do, again,
Rooster's saying that it was the typing that was weird concentration.
Oh, I bet.
And then you got called out for being a show off with the cartwheel. Okay, keep going.
So, what we've created is just a scattering and a mess of like points of contact. That's really all this is. We had tape, we're having fun with it. We've got 2 bar trainers, so we're gonna use them. But again, you can feel free to be creative with any.
You just don't want anything that you can slip on, like something that's loose that you might mistakenly step on, like the blanket, and it would cause you to slip.
Yeah, because we don't need realness right now. We're training. It's a controlled environment.
Controlled training.
We want a controlled environment here. But the idea is we're just trying to create some sort of precise spot that we want to interact with. That's all. And for right now, we have this kind of smattering of different things. with no real purpose to this. And some of you have done this in classes before. Really all we're trying to do is just move about and interact sort of aimlessly as we transfer and sometimes think about redirecting, constantly changing. And we're just thinking about going 1 foot per object as we step ourselves through. But you can definitely walk on 2 if you so choose, if you've got a bar available.
The rules are yours.
The rules are yours. And again, all we're thinking about doing is just reaching out and interacting, trying to maintain that control as we think about that rhythm and go.
Whoa, I missed.
See, and that's part of the joy of this, is that it's a pretty simple drill, but as you start moving, we're trying to create a scenario where you might end up missing that object because you either had to redirect too quick or you start moving.
My tempo is too fast.
That's okay.
Your turn, and then I'll go slower next time. My speed is too fast because I'm ending up taking in irregular tempo strides. Oh, like that. Our setup isn't perfect. This is a little bit of a dead spot for that, but that's okay. It's part of the challenge.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little slower. Man, my body tries to speed it up. Like to fight not speeding it up. Another way, if you happen to have a quarantine buddy, you can move at the same time. And they are not an object, but they are a decider of life. Oh my goodness. Whoa! That was bad. I feel like he's chasing me.
I'm chasing you.
Are you? I couldn't put my same foot down on triangle.
Very good. Okay, so, and again, this is something very simple. You can make so many different games out of this to try to figure out different ways of moving, challenging your foot-eye coordination as you reach yourself out and around. So for instance, we could say anytime you want to transfer to an object, you have to transfer backward.
Say it again.
Anytime you want to transfer to a new object, you have to transfer backward. Yeah.
What? So everyone's a backward one?
So if I'm here, backward. Backward. Oh, I missed.
Oh, so just backward transfers.
Backward.
Because there's never not a new object?
Backward. What's that?
Because there's never not a new object?
Correct.
Okay. So backward. Oh, I missed.
Well, that's the point.
Backward. Whoa. See, now I'm
and then
stuck.
figure out a way to turn yourself around.
Hey, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's forward. I'm not allowed to do that. Oh my goodness. I get so reachy doing that.
Backward.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Whoa.
Okay. Backward. Backward. Oh, I missed that one. There's nothing.
There's nothing. We should put another one over that way.
Yeah.
Let's make a new rule.
Okay.
You're gonna only step forward and sideways.
Forwards and sideways. Checking in on
Forwards
making sure
and
there's
sideways.
No questions for the other rule.
Forward, sideways. Forward, sideways.
What do you mean,
Forward,
Mr. Oof, even
sideways.
without being precise and not landing on my
Forward.
objects is rough.
Sideways.
Backwards is
Forward.
tougher, says Paul.
Sideways. forward, sideways, forward, sideways. Whoa.
Forward, then sideways.
Forward, then sideways.
Uh-oh. Forward,
Redirect.
sideways, forward, sideways.
Yes, I love it.
I messed it up.
I know typically when we teach tacs, there's that expectation of if something's on your left, you should be reaching with your left, but there's totally a time and place where we might have to cross.
An instep.
An instep. Forward, sideways, forward, sideways, forward, sideways, forward, sideways.
Sorry, I'm yawning,
Oops.
everybody.
Forward, sideways, forward, sideways.
It's breaking my brain.
Oh,
Forward, sideways. I feel like we shouldn't say it constantly because it might be confusing if they're doing it different. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like counting. 17, 34, 2. Okay.
Patrick Jowen says, Jowen? Oh man, I don't actually know how to pronounce your last name, but he sent us rock on on Facebook.
Rock on. He said hi.
Rooster Bad Guy says, you two can land on your tape. I'm not stepping on my coasters, just in their general vicinity. That's perfectly fine. Again, the whole point is just to create targets on the floor that we're trying to interact with. That's really all we're trying to do here.
I did a backward step. That wasn't part of the rule.
Yep. But the other cool thing about having shapes and having them be this way is that if you were, for instance, to have a quarantine buddy, or if you were to have tape and you want to set this up in somewhat of the same way of having a rectangle, we're going to call it a box, or
brick.
a bar trainer, which we're going to call bar, or you've got a line, or you've got a triangle, or an X, you could have a quarantine buddy, or it could be us if you want to like set this all up and then replay this after. And you can have your quarantine buddy be your decider on where you go and saying what object you need to step to next. And you're trying to maintain as you go up. You can start nice and slow. For instance, I can say, Nicole.
Oh, I'm the first goer. Oh,
line.
Boy. What?
Line. Bar. Triangle. Line. Bar. Triangle. X. Hey, there we go. Line. Bar. X.
Ooh.
Brick. Did I say box? Box.
I like brick.
Brick? You like brick?
Because it's the shape of a brick.
Cool. Bar. Box. Oh, brick. Man, I just bricked my brain. Line. Triangle.
Whoa.
Line. Triangle.
Yeah.
Whee!
Oh, I missed.
Good try. Bar. Brick. X. Brick. Triangle. Bar. Brick. Bar. X. Line. Triangle. Brick. Bar.
Good try. That was awesome. Okay, I'll go to the side.
And the cool thing about having a quarantine buddy do it is you don't want to be too mean because you're up next.
True. Okay. Bar. Brick. Line. Bar. X. Triangle. Brick. Bar. Line. Brick. Bar. Brick. Bar. Triangle. Brick. Bar. Triangle.
Oh no!
Oh no! I didn't. Keep going, keep going. You didn't get to go fast. Line. X. Bar. Triangle. Brick. X. Bar. Triangle. Line. Bar. X.
Oh no!
I love it. My turn.
Line. Bar. Brick.
In my brain, I was like, oh, that looks like a brick. And then it just broke. Okay, line, bar, brick.
Triangle. Bar. Bar. Hey. I'm gonna say two things at once, and it means you gotta go to the next thing. Triangle. Brick. Bar. X.
Oh, close.
Line. Bar. Line. X. Brick. Bar. Line. Triangle. Brick.
Oh.
Bar.
I wasn't balanced, so it wasn't fast enough.
Yeah.
Interesting that you forget what's behind you.
I know.
That's, yeah, because I went to that X and I could have gone to that X. Okay, triangle, bar, brick, bar, triangle, line, brick, bar, X.
Oh no.
Oh, good try. Bar, brick, bar, brick. Oh, X. I didn't realize you could go back once you've left one. That makes sense. It's fine. Bar, triangle, line, bar, X, brick, brick, bar, bar. Got you? If I don't do what the drill was from before, was just transfer my weight to it, then I'm falling. And it's like, if your redirection that's naturally chosen is not where the next thing you say, then it's all over.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
X. Brick. Triangle. Line. X. Bar. Line. Bar. Brick. Triangle. Bar. Brick.
Ooh, I just knew you would say line. I don't know why.
X. Line.
Ooh.
Good try. Triangle. Bar. Ooh, bar.
Did you say bar?
Bar.
Didn't I go to a bar?
But you were on it.
Oh, and now bar.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to try that again. And then I'm falling. It's
Yeah,
hard
that's
to
gonna be a
catch
hard one
that.
to redirect.
Your turn.
Go.
Brick. X. Brick. Triangle. Line. Bar. Line. Triangle. X. Oh, good try. It's like
X.
brick. Bar. Triangle. Brick. Line. X. Brick. I think that's so interesting. I'll say that after. Bar. Triangle. Brick. X. Triangle. Brick. Line. Ooh, bar. Brick. X. Triangle. Brick. Good job. I feel like more often than not, you would choose to do an actual true tack. And so you ended up not, it's like you were always falling out into this pattern. And so then a redirection forward didn't work. So you could have done, I think at one point, like that X, and it would have been easier.
Right.
And it was in your line of sight. It's just interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me look at chat.
Oh,
I'm gonna do a thing.
you're gonna do a thing.
Okay.
Start moving around.
Uh-oh. Okay, moving around.
As you're moving, you're gonna try to keep a rhythm as it goes.
Can I make my rhythm a little slower?
You can totally make your rhythm a little slower.
Okay.
Because basically, I'm going to give you a shape or an object, a target, and your next beat needs to be that object.
So it can't be, so if I'm in mid-transition, it's fine to complete the transition.
Correct, yep.
Okay. Oh, I'm
My
moving.
intention wasn't for you to stop. Bar.
Oh!
Good try.
Okay.
X. Triangle.
Wow, yeah, when you predetermine, that's really, wow, I like it. Okay, go again.
Okay. Bar. You're fine. You're mid transition.
I'm getting dizzy. Okay, gotta go slower. Whoop.
Line.
Ooh.
Triangle.
Oh, so far. We're backward. This is challenging. Again, again, again.
Line. X.
No!
Good try.
Okay.
Bar.
Oh, that was working, but I didn't think I was right.
Brick.
Pooper, scooper. There's a brick.
Triangle.
Oh. Okay.
X.
I did it.
Line.
Yeah.
Good try.
Your turn. Okay. I don't know when to say it for you. Triangle. Oh. Brick. This is hard to be a giver and not just a listener. Triangle. Line.
That was lucky.
Brick. Bar. Oh, that was just duh. I'm really bad at this, is what I've just determined. Line. Triangle. Brick. Good try. X.
Oh.
Line. Oh. So something that I've determined now, having played the role twice, like once in each role, even when I feel like I'm failing you, doing a good job telling you what to do, it's very clear that just the act of you having to change your redirection and and just quick reaction, that's all valuable. And whether or not you're doing a good job getting there right away or not, it doesn't matter.
Correct.
Because you're doing all these little micro corrections in your ankles, so I like it. It just felt like when I was the active participant that I sucked at it. Brick. Triangle. Triangle. There you go. Line. Brick. Y'all, I'm really bad at this. Triangle. Brick. Line. X.
Oh,
good job.
Yeah.
Now that you're 20 million miles dizzy. Hold on, I want to check the chat after this.
I don't get dizzy.
I get dizzy. He likes G-forces, I don't. My body, my lack of body awareness is making my step across my body a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Make a twister wheel. Yeah, actually, I think that it being in a grid could be interesting.
A twister wheel, that's a smart idea.
Oh. Rooster's going or gone already. He says he's gonna post his setup.
Cool.
Yeah, excellent. Okay.
I'll try to find it.
Huh?
I'll try to find it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move. Feel like just trying to change up my steps and not always striding forward and sometimes striding sideways or backwards or crossbody is an interesting component to the drill without having like a collar. Oh, see, like that was a bad step.
Oh, this is an interesting idea.
I want to see when
Yeah,
it's
let's
up.
get this up.
Is it up?
Nope, not yet. So then
I'll go back on screen till you put
dead
it.
air.
No,
Dead
no,
air.
no dead air, no dead air. I just want to see it when he puts it on y'all's screen. Whoa.
Oh, it puts it sideways, but transition that over. I guess you'll just have to tilt your head in order to see it. But that is interesting, having the coasters. And then if there were different icons or different things that you had to reach out for, I dig that. That's pretty fun. Thanks, Joel.
Yeah, good idea, Joel.
But yeah, these drills are super easy. They're super simple, but they couldn't be more important. Just spending that time trying to challenge your ability to perceive where you want to step and then actually step in that direction on that target.
I also feel like there's a very real reality to my body and brain knowing that this is flat and that knowing this is not flat.
True.
So I feel like that is perfectly acceptable, and I would not transfer my weight to the bar that way.
Right.
Yeah, I would bail.
We do this a lot in my level 2 class. Obviously, since we have a plethora of par trainers available, it becomes significantly more of the understanding of you are stepping out to that precise space, to that precise object. And as we start getting a lot of people moving around and grooving, it does start to get that moment of, oh, I can't step there. I need to redirect and change and figure out what's happening. For anybody that's played a game of flag tag with us, oh, I miss flag tag
I
so
know.
much. But hopefully soon, yeah, hopefully soon. But yeah, it's just these fun little drills that work for that one random moment when your foot gets stuck in a blanket and you find yourself careening forward, stepping that leg out. No good.
I know.
I can't tell you how many times I've also slipped down the stairs. Like I can do so many amazing things. I can like do precision jumps and then I'm just walking down the stairs and my foot.
Like with a sock and you don't.
Yeah, and I totally just miss.
Absolutely. Yep.
But it's those moments that we need to be prepared for to make sure that we don't accidentally blow out our ankle and then we can't move around for 3 to 6 months. That's no fun.
I know, not worth it.
But we miss you all.
Strong ankles.
Thank you so much for being a part of our wonderful footwork drills class.
Before we sign off completely, we will post this in Discord, but we are going to be releasing some new video on demand stuff. So if you've not already subscribed to our page and you want notifications of when those get posted, because it will not appear in the live stream box like how you've been seeing all of these. So they'll just go to our YouTube page and I'll probably post links to them on Facebook. But otherwise, hit the subscribe button and you can get notifications when those go live.
We've also switched around our video archive page on the rochesterparkour.com site. If you click that live button in the upper right-hand corner, if you're on a phone, if you click the hamburger button and click live, that will show your the video archive. We've made it much more organized, much easier to understand, simpler to get to where you're looking for and to go back and rewatch streams. So feel free to check that out as well. Yeah. If you want a sneak peek for, what is today? Today's Tuesday. For Thursday. I know days. I know what day of the week it is. If you don't have tape, Joel, you should get tape. Tape is so versatile. It is one of the most amazing training tools. And it could not even be more valuable right now, being able to just create shapes and create targets and create different things that you can use to drill and train with. For Thursday, we're gonna be creating lines. We're gonna be doing movement sequencing using those lines. So for instance, back here, I've got just a 10-foot span of tape all on one line to help me pinpoint and understand where body parts are going to be placed and where they're going to be going. So that's your sneak peek for Thursday.
Yeah.
Go get tape.
We'll see
useful.
So one of us has to push the buttons.
Oh, button pushing. That's a smart idea. The stream just doesn't go away. Bye, everybody.